Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Don't Learn English Live It. I'm Vijay Kumar. Today we will continue reading the story of the day written by MAHAFOUZ. But before we begin, I'd like to share something important with you. In my previous videos, I used a lot of Malayalam, but from now on, I will be using more English and less Malayalam. The best way to pick up a language or to acquire a language is to listen and speak. So it will give you an opportunity to listen and speak English. You don't worry, I will talk to you very slowly and very distinctly, very clearly. So you won't find it difficult to follow me. So let's get started. Do you remember where we stopped in the last class? I think it was at paragraph 11. So let's start from paragraph 12. But let me ask you a question from the last paragraph. It is given in the textbook. In the beginning, the narrator uses I to refer to himself. Later, it changes to we. What do you think is the reason for the shift? Can you answer this question? Yes, it's very easy. Before joining school or before going to school, he had indeed a very narrow perspective of life. That means narrow understanding of life. Everything actually centered around him and his parents. That means his family. But in school, he got enough opportunity to mingle with others, to interact with his friends and teachers, and this broadened his perspective of life, his understanding of life, or we can say his concept of life. So he shifted from the narrow-minded I to the all-inclusive we. So he shifted from the narrow-minded I to the all-inclusive എല്ലാറ്റിനെയും ഉൾക്കൊള്ളുന്ന വിയിലേക്ക് he shifted. Shift ചെയ്തു മാറി. So let's get started. As our path revealed itself to us, however, we did not find it as totally saved and unclouded. Dust-laden winds and unexpected accidents could happen suddenly. So we had to be watchful and very patient. It was not all a matter of playing and fooling around. Rivalries could bring about pain and hatred or give rise to fighting. And while the woman would sometimes smile, she would often scowl and scold. Even more frequently, she would resort to physical punishment. What do you think the paragraph is about? It is about the journey of life. So let's see what the narrator tells us. As our path revealed itself to us, however, we did not find it totally saved and unclouded. The path revealed itself to us. That means, in the beginning, the path was not clear. As they started the journey, the path became visible to them. So, as here is a subordinator, and it is a subordinate clause, then however is there, however shows contrast. It is a conjunctive adverb that shows contrast. That means what they really experienced was something different from what they had, or the opposite of what they had expected. We did not find it totally saved and unclouded. What do you mean by saved? Saved means pleasant. Totally saved means totally, completely pleasant. So the journey was not completely pleasant, and unclouded, not unclouded. Not unclouded means there were obstacles, there were hindrances, or there were challenges. So they realized that, they came to know that life was not completely pleasant and not completely bitter. Life is not completely pleasant and completely bitter. It is partly sweet and partly bitter. Then, dust-laden winds and unexpected accidents could happen. They also learned that dust-laden winds are there. Dust-laden means dust-carrying winds. Dust-carrying winds. You must have heard about dust winds, dust storms and dust winds. Then, dust-laden winds and unexpected accidents. Accidents are unexpected. So Another unexpected is there to lay emphasis on the unpredictability of such incidents. Could happen suddenly at any time. So we had to be watchful, we had to be very vigilant, we had to be very careful and very patient. That means they had to wait until something happens. It may take a long time, but we had to wait patiently for it without getting upset. So wait for a long time without getting upset. That is patient. Then it was not all a matter of playing and fooling around. They also came to know that life is, this journey means life, the journey of life. It is not playing and fooling around. That means അത് ലൈറ്റ് ഹാർട്ടഡായി നിസ്സാരമായി എടുക്കേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യമല്ല, അല്ലെ? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഒരു പ്ലേഫുൾ ബിഹേവിയർ അല്ല നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ വേണ്ടത്, അല്ലെ? ഇൻ ഷോർട്ട്, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട്, ലൈഫ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് ചൈൽഡ്സ് പ്ലേ. ചൈൽഡ്സ് പ്ലേ കുട്ടിക്കളി, അല്ലെ? ജീവിതം കുട്ടിക്കളിയല്ല. വി ഹാവ് ടു ടേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് സീരിയസ്ലി, അല്ലെ? നമ്മളത് വളരെ സീരിയസ് ആയിട്ട് എടുക്കേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. Understand? Rivalries could bring about pain and hatred or give rise to fighting. Rivalry, uh, it is competition. Rivals are competitors. If you compete with another person for something, you are competitors, you are rivals. It's a healthy feeling. Rivalry is indeed a healthy feeling. So it might take an unhealthy turn. വേണമെങ്കിൽ അത് ഒരു അൺഹെൽത്തി ആയിട്ട് മാറാം, അല്ലെ? പെട്ടെന്ന് അൺഹെൽത്തി ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഇതുണ്ടായി കുട്ടികൾ തങ്ങളിൽ ഒരു അത്ര മെച്ചുറായ ആളുകളല്ലല്ലോ. ചിലപ്പോൾ അത് അടിയിലും പിടിയിലും ഒക്കെ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള വഴക്കിലും ഒക്കെ കലാശിക്കാറുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ ഇവിടെ rivalries could bring about, what do we bring about? Bring about means cause to happen, might lead to എന്തിനോടൊക്കെയാണ്? Pain and hatred. Hatred, hatred and love. It is the opposite of love. It may lead to pain, suffering, and hatred. Then, or give rise to fighting. Sometimes it gave rise to means it brought about. It resulted in, you can say, fighting. And while the woman would sometimes smile, sometimes means occasionally. We saw a woman in the beginning, when the children came to school for the first day. It was this woman who addressed them and who gave them confidence, That woman, it is about that woman. And while the woman would sometimes smile, occasionally smile, sometimes means occasionally smile, she would often scowl and scold, but she would quite often scowl. Scowl means show anger. She became angry. She shouted at the boys. And then scold. Scold means rebuke them. She criticized them. See, even more frequently, that means more often, she would resort to physical punishment. She would resort to, that means she would, what do you mean would there? She used to, very past habit, and it shows a past habit. She would do something, I would do something while I was boy, means I used to do it. Or you can use simple past tense there to show past habit. Then, frequently, she would resort to physical punishment. What is physical punishment? That is corporal punishment. Corporal punishment. Physical punishment is corporal punishment. Punishment. Corporal punishment. She might have slapped boys or whipped boys or caned them. Physical punishment. What do we resort to? RESORT. Resort to. Resort to means depend upon. Or we can say use. Use. So she resorted to physical punishment. Physical punishment, now that means she used to beat children or whip children or slap them. That is physical punishment or corporal punishment. Corporal punishment. See, so she resorted to means she used it as a last option. വേറെ നിവൃത്തിയൊന്നും ഇല്ലാതെ വരുമ്പോൾ, നിവൃത്തിയില്ലാതെ പരമാവധി സഹിക്കുമായിരിക്കും, അല്ലെ? നോക്കൂ, പക്ഷേ അവസാനം ഇൻ ദി എൻഡ്, അല്ലെ, വൈൽ ഷി വാസ് അറ്റ് ഹെർ വിറ്റ്സ് എൻഡ്, നിവൃത്തിയില്ലാതെ വരുമ്പോൾ നോക്കൂ, ഷീ യൂസ്ഡ് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് എ ലാസ്റ്റ് റിസോർട്ട്. മനസ്സിലായല്ലോ? ആസ് എ ലാസ്റ്റ് ഓപ്ഷൻ. Then and resort to physical punishment. See, the bell rang announcing the passing of the day and the end of work. So the bell rang. The school bell rang, announcing the passing of the day. Passing of the day means the gradual movement of time. അല്ലെ, ആ സമയത്തിന്റെ gradual movement അത് കാണിക്കുന്നത് passing of the day. And the end of work, that means the end of a school day. So the bell rang, announcing the passing of time. സമയം കുറെ കഴിഞ്ഞു എന്ന് ബെല്ലടിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് തോന്നും അല്ലേ, ഓ സമയം ഒരുപാടായി, നോക്കൂ അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. And the end of work means the end of a school day. That means the school ended. അല്ലെ, അപ്പോൾ ബെൽ എന്താണ് കാണിച്ചത്? The bell meant the school bell rang, means what ended? A school day ended. ഒരു സ്കൂൾ ഡേ അവസാനിച്ചു. The throngs of children rushed towards the gate, which was opened again. I bade farewell to friends and sweethearts and passed through the gate. I peered around, but found no trace of my father, who had promised to be there. So the throngs of children, not only throngs of children, crowds of children, say rushed to us. Rushed to us means move with a great force. Here you can say hurried. They hurried to. Crowds of children hurried to the gate, which was opened again. The gate was opened again. I bade farewell to friends and sweethearts. I bade farewell. B-I-D. Bid means say. Bid farewell means say farewell. Bade is the past form of bid. So he bade farewell to friends and sweethearts. Sweethearts means lovers. You know, it is unfair to have more than one sweetheart. So it means girlfriends. So he bade goodbye to girlfriends and boyfriends, you know. Then and passed through the gate. That means he got out of the school compound through the gates. I peered around but found no trace of my father. I peered around. I peered around means I looked around. That means I looked for my father. I looked for my father. Then I searched for my father. I peered around but found no trace of my father. But I could not find any trace of my father. I could find no trace of my father, no sign of my father. അവിടെ എൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ ഒരടയാളമില്ല. Who had promised to be there. So he had promised to be there in the morning. But when I went out through the gate, I could not see my father. There was no sign of my father. See, I stepped aside to wait. When I had waited for a long time without avail, I decided to return home on my own. After I had taken a few steps, a middle-aged man passed by, and I realized at once that I knew him. He came toward me, smiling, and shook me by the hand, saying, "It's a long time since we last met. How are you?" I stepped aside to wait. I moved to one side and waited there. അപ്പോൾ കുട്ടികളൊക്കെ നിറഞ്ഞു നിൽക്കുകയല്ലേ, ഒരു സൈഡിലോട്ട് മാറി ഇവിടെ നിന്നു. So he was still looking for his father. Then, when I had waited for a long time without avail means to no avail. That means of no use. അല്ലെ, ഒരു പ്രയോജനവും അതിനുണ്ടായില്ല. ഒരുപാട് സമയം he waited there. He continued to wait there for a long time, but to no avail. Then, I decided to return home on my own. So in the end, eventually he decided to return home alone. That means he decided to return home unaccompanied or without accompanied by anybody. See, after I had taken a few steps, a middle-aged man passed by. You see, I had taken just a few steps. കുറച്ച് steps അങ്ങോട്ട് നടന്നു. Then a middle-aged man passed by. Passed by means he went past me. He went past me means എന്നിങ്ങനെ കടന്നുപോയി. And I realized at once, I came to know at once that I knew him. എനിക്ക് ആ വ്യക്തിയെ അറിയാമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി. So he came towards me. The person also identified me, and he came toward me, smiling with a smile on his face, and shook me by the hand. He gave me a handshake. Like handshake തന്നു. And saying, നോക്കൂ, when two persons meet after a long or short break, like they usually say, "It's a long time since we last met." അല്ലെ, ഒരു ഫോർമൽ എൻക്വയറി ആണ്, when we meet another person after some time, when we meet a friend after some time, then ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ലോങ് ടൈം സിൻസ് വി ലാസ്റ്റ് മാച്ച്. ചിലപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ പറയാറില്ലേ, ഓ ഇറ്റ്സ് ഏജസ് സിൻസ് വി മാച്ച്. നമ്മൾ കണ്ടിട്ട് യുഗങ്ങളായി, ഒരുപാട് കാലമായി. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ലോങ് ടൈം സിൻസ് വി മാച്ച് അല്ലെ. നോക്കൂ, അപ്പോൾ പരിചയക്കാരനെന്നുള്ളത് ഉറപ്പാണ്. ഹൗ ആർ യു ഈസ് എ പൊളൈറ്റ് ഇൻക്വയറി. ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് ഫോർമൽ, ഇറ്റ്സ് എ പൊളൈറ്റ് ഇൻക്വയറി. സാധാരണ ഈ എക്സ്ചേഞ്ചസ് പരിചയക്കാർ തങ്ങളിൽ നടത്തുന്നതാണ്. കുറെ കൂടെ ഫോർമൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു എൻക്വയറിയാണ് ഹൗ ഡു യു ഡു. ബട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഹൗ ആർ യു ഹിയർ. With a nod of my head, I agreed with him and in turn asked, and you, how are you? With a nod of my head. You can nod your head in two ways, up and down like this, sideways like this. So if you move your head sideways, ഇങ്ങനെ കാണിച്ചാൽ എൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താണ്? ന്യൂ അല്ലെ. അപ്പ് ആൻഡ് ഡൗൺ കാണിച്ചാൽ എസ്. സോ ഐ മൂവ്ഡ് മൈ ഹെഡ് അപ്പ് ആൻഡ് ഡൗൺ. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഐ അഗ്രീഡ്, ഞാൻ സമ്മതിച്ചു. നോക്കൂ, എന്നിട്ട് I agreed with him and in turn means when my opportunity. അപ്പൊ ഇങ്ങോട്ടൊരു ഗ്രീറ്റിംഗ് തന്നാൽ അങ്ങോട്ട് തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കണമല്ലോ. We have to return it. So when my turn came, നമ്മുടെ ഊഴം എന്ന് പറയും. When my opportunity came, see, I asked, ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു, and how are you? How about you? അതൊരു തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഒന്നാണ്. How about you? How are you? How are you? അവിടെ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വന്നത് തന്നെയാണ്. How about you? As you can see, not all that good, like not as good as, not all that good means not as good as expected. നമ്മൾ പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ച പോലെ ചിലപ്പോൾ പറയാറില്ലേ, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ പോകുന്നു, പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ച പോലെ ഒന്നുമില്ല അല്ലെ. ദി ഓൾമൈറ്റി ബി പ്രൈസ്ഡ്. പക്ഷേ നമുക്ക് ദറ്റ്സ് എ വേ ഓഫ് എക്സ്പ്രസിങ് ഗ്രേറ്റ്ഫുൾനെസ് ഓർ ഗ്രാറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ടു ഗോഡ്. പക്ഷേ വലിയ കുഴപ്പമില്ലാതെ നമ്മൾ പോകുന്നുണ്ട്, ഒന്നും അത്ര മോശമല്ല എന്നൊരർത്ഥമുണ്ട്. അത്ര പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ച പോലെ ഒന്നും വന്നില്ല. ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തുതി അല്ലെ, ദൈവത്തിന് നന്ദി. ഇങ്ങനെയെങ്കിലും അല്ലെ മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകുന്നതിന് മനസ്സിലല്ല. So he expressed his gratefulness or gratitude to God. Now that's all for now. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. Bye.